Have you ever wondered why earning your first $100,000 feels almost impossible, but people who already have it seem to build the next $100,000 much faster? It isn't because they're smarter, luckier, or earning millions. It's because money follows a rule that most people never learn. In today's video on Jimmy Invest, we'll uncover why the first $100,000 is the hardest milestone you'll ever reach, the hidden financial habits that keep ordinary people stuck, and the simple shift that changes how wealth grows for the rest of your life. Imagine two people graduating from college at exactly the same time. Both find decent jobs, both work hard, and both earn around $4,800 a month after taxes, which is close to what many middle-income professionals in the United States or parts of Europe might take home after deductions. At first glance, their financial futures appear almost identical. They rent similar apartments for about $1,500 per month. They each drive reliable used cars with monthly payments around $400. Utilities, insurance, groceries, fuel, internet, and phone bills consume another $1,100. One still has student loan payments, while the other carries credit card balances from moving expenses and furniture purchases. By the time everything is paid, both have only a few $100s left. Every month feels like a balancing act. One unexpected medical bill, one car repair, or one emergency flight home can completely destroy their budget. This is the financial reality for millions of hard-working people. They aren't irresponsible. They simply operate inside a system where nearly every dollar already has somewhere to go before payday even arrives. The uncomfortable truth is that most people believe building wealth starts with earning a higher salary. They spend years chasing promotions, switching employers, or negotiating raises, convinced that a larger paycheck will finally solve their money problems. Sometimes it helps, but often only temporarily. As income increases, spending quietly follows. A nicer apartment replaces the smaller one. The used car becomes a brand new SUV with a larger monthly payment. Weekend vacations become international trips. Streaming subscriptions multiply. Dining out becomes routine instead of occasional. None of these decisions feels dramatic by itself. In fact, each one feels justified. After all, if you're working harder and earning more, shouldn't your lifestyle improve too? This phenomenon has a name: lifestyle inflation. It's one of the most powerful forces preventing people from ever reaching their first $100,000. The increase in income creates the illusion of financial progress while silently preventing real wealth from accumulating. Every additional dollar earned immediately finds a new purpose in consumption instead of ownership. Suppose someone receives a $600 monthly raise after taxes. That's more than $7,000 extra every year. On paper, that sounds like a major financial improvement. But 6 months later, they lease a newer car that costs an additional $280 per month. Their rent increases because they move into a larger apartment. They begin ordering takeout more frequently because work feels stressful. They upgrade electronics, buy better furniture, and take vacations that previously seemed too expensive. Suddenly, the extra income disappears. The bank account feels exactly the same as before. This cycle repeats itself year after year, not because people lack discipline, but because human psychology adapts remarkably quickly to new standards of living. Yesterday's luxury becomes today's normal. The excitement of earning more fades much faster than the recurring expenses it creates. Now imagine someone else receiving that same raise, but making one different decision. Instead of immediately increasing their lifestyle, they continue living roughly the same way for another 2 or 3 years. The extra money isn't left sitting idle. It's directed toward investments, retirement accounts, emergency savings, and productive assets. Nothing about their daily life looks dramatically different. Friends may even assume they're earning less because they haven't upgraded their car or apartment. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. Every month, their invested money begins producing small returns. At first, the progress feels almost invisible. After 1 year, the numbers don't look life-changing. After 2 years, the gains still seem modest. This is precisely why so many people quit too early. Human beings naturally expect visible rewards for consistent effort. When those rewards aren't immediately obvious, motivation fades. Yet wealth doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows gradually, then suddenly. Think of pushing a giant flywheel. The first push barely moves it. The second push still feels difficult. Even after dozens of pushes, the wheel appears to respond very slowly. But each push adds momentum. Eventually, the wheel begins spinning on its own. The effort required to keep it moving becomes much smaller than the effort needed to start it. Building your first $100,000 works in much the same way. The early years require patience because almost every dollar comes directly from your own labor. Your investments contribute very little. You are doing nearly all the heavy lifting yourself. This explains why the first $100,000 often feels painfully slow. You're trying to save money while paying rent, managing debt, replacing worn-out appliances, handling unexpected repairs, and resisting countless opportunities to increase your lifestyle. It feels like running uphill because, financially speaking, it is. There is another reason the first $100,000 is so difficult, and it has nothing to do with math. It has everything to do with psychology. Most people measure financial success by what they can see today rather than what they're quietly building for tomorrow. A newer car parked in the driveway is visible. Designer clothes, expensive vacations, and the latest smartphone all provide immediate social proof. An investment account growing steadily in the background provides almost none. Nobody compliments you for increasing your index fund balance or contributing more to your retirement account. The rewards of investing are delayed, while the rewards of spending are immediate. Our brains naturally prefer immediate rewards, which is why saving and investing often feel emotionally harder than spending. Now imagine two co-workers who each receive an annual bonus of $10,000. The first co-worker upgrades their furniture, books a luxury vacation, buys the newest phone, and replaces a perfectly functional car with a newer model. 6 months later, the money is gone. The memories may remain, but financially, the bonus has disappeared. The second co-worker uses that same bonus to increase investments, strengthen an emergency fund, and reduce high-interest debt. 6 months later, their lifestyle looks almost unchanged. To outsiders, it may even seem like they missed out. But 5 or 10 years later, the difference becomes dramatic. The first person's wealth returns to zero because every dollar was consumed. The second person's money continues working long after the paycheck that created it has been forgotten. This is the shift that financially intelligent people eventually make. They stop asking, "What can this money buy today?" and start asking, "What can this money become in the future?" That single question changes nearly every financial decision. Instead of seeing money as something to spend, they begin seeing it as a productive asset capable of generating more value over time. If there's one idea to remember from today's video, it's this. The first $100,000 isn't difficult because the math is complicated. It's difficult because it demands patience in a world that rewards instant gratification. Once you understand that, you stop chasing shortcuts and start building systems that quietly work in your favor for years to come. If you found this video helpful and want more calm, practical insights about money, investing, and long-term wealth building, consider subscribing to Jimmy Invest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.